All right, who's responsible for this? Man. I can't believe it. I was walking down the road and walked right past a guy. He saw me and I said, "Hey man, how you doing?" Not a word. I thought, good night, how rude. Kind of reminds me of who was that a Star Wars character, Jar Jar Binks.
How rude.
I've been backpacking for about 30 years ago when I started backpacking with my two boys, and I have seen all kinds of hikers and backpackers and day hikers, and that got me to thinking, if I wanted to be a rude hiker, what would I do? Now, the first thing I would do if I wanted to be a rude hiker is I would listen to my music, podcast, whatever, without earphones or headphones on, and I'd crank it up as loud as I could. Not everybody wants to listen to your music, your podcast, or whatever, and so don't be rude. Now, another thing I'd do if I wanted to be a rude hiker is I'd be loud and obnoxious on trail, and especially in camp when everybody's trying to go to sleep, or maybe it's past hiker midnight. Hiker midnight is 9 o'clock, by the way. But there's some people that just don't realize that there's other hikers on the trail, and again, they don't want to be a part of your conversation or your stories or whatever. And so don't be loud and obnoxious and not be considerate of other people on the trail. Not everyone is interested in how loud you can belch or how loud you can flatulence. If you really want to be a rude hiker, then leave your trash on the ground. Don't pick it up, and leave it for somebody else to pick it up. There's other people that come after you, and so don't be a rude hiker and leave your trash on the ground. Another way to be a rude hiker is when people pass you on the trail, either passing you up or coming in the opposite direction and pass you. When they pass you, be rude and don't say anything to them, especially if they greet you first. Whatever you do, just look straight ahead like, "I'm a through hiker. I don't have time to stop and say hi." Hey, if you really want to be rude, and that's what we're talking about, if you really want to be rude on the trail, if you're a through hiker, criticize all those that are section hiking and talk down to them and make them feel like that they are less of a human being because they're a section hiker and not a through hiker like you. You probably have a lot of questions that they want to ask you, but oh my goodness, you're a through hiker, and so you don't have time for these peasants. And so be rude. Hey, another way you can be a rude hiker is, don't let people pass you up if they're faster than you are. Stay in the middle of the trail and block traffic if you have to. I realize that I'm not as fast of a hiker as I used to be, and so therefore I'm trying to be cautious of people behind me that are faster and younger than I am, and I'm not going to be rude and not step out of the way and let them go past me. Now, if you want to be rude, then go ahead and block traffic and don't let them get by you. If you're going downhill, and it's a steep downhill, therefore it's a steep uphill the other way. But if someone is coming towards you, they're coming uphill and you're going downhill, then don't give them the right of way. Be rude and let them get off the trail instead of you. The rule of thumb is to let those that are going uphill have the right of way. But again, if you want to be a rude hiker, then you go ahead and don't let them have the right of way. Now, in case you really want to be a rude hiker, let me tell you what you need to do. When you stop, whether you're going downhill, uphill, or even on a flat surface, don't get off the trail. Just set yourself down in the middle of the trail, and those that come after you or those that are coming towards you, let them go around you. Hey, if you're going to stop and talk to your friends, stay right in the middle of the trail. And those that are through hiking, those are wanting to get around you or whatever, don't let them. Just take up the trail. Here's a good one if you want to be a rude hiker. If you got to go to the bathroom, then make sure that you go to the bathroom as close as you can to a water source, a stream, lake, creek, whatever. But make sure you go to the bathroom as close as you can to that, or as close as you can to the trail. That's pretty rude, you see. If you stop for a break and there's several people around, fellow hikers, or if you set up for camp, give your fellow hikers unasked for advice. Because again, you're the expert hiker.
Awesome!
And everyone wants to know what you know. I heard someone say one time, and it's very good, unasked for advice is seldom followed and usually resented. If they got a question and they want to know something, then take time and, teach them or give them your answer or whatever. But don't give them unasked for advice. Hey, if you want to be a rude hiker, then let everybody know how great of a hiker you are. When you stop for a break, or if you go into camp or whatever, let everybody know how great of a hiker you are. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Are you the hiking Rev? Why, yes I am. I am the hiking Rev. Listen, I know you're busy, I know you got things to do, but is there any way you could sign my backpack? I only have just a few seconds, but for you peasants out there, I could take time to sign your backpack. Thank you, Mr. Hiking Rev. You're so great and you're so wonderful. We're so unworthy. Now, don't forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe. But if people ask you, then yeah, just very humbly tell them what all that you've done. Perhaps maybe you can be an encouragement to them. But again, if they don't ask you, don't volunteer to tell them how great of a hiker you are. Now, if you want to be a rude hiker, when you get into camp, insist on the best campsites. Just in case you don't want to be a rude hiker, then you can always just tell your fellow hikers, look, you guys go ahead and pick which site you want, and then I'll get what's left over. Again, I don't want to get spiritual here, but the Bible says in honor preferring one another. We ought to prefer the other person. It sure makes life a lot easier. Here's a good one. If you're prone to snore or flatulence, I'll get it right in a minute. Then camp as close as you can to other hikers around you. No, the best thing to do if you don't want to be rude is to try to get as far away from them as you can, and also, let them know that you snore. By all means, warn your fellow hikers, your fellow campers, that you had chili just a little while ago for dinner.
Ew!
I think this is probably the height of rudeness, and that is when you get to a trail town, go into the trail town and be as inconsiderate and as rude as you can to the waitresses that wait on you at a restaurant, and to those that check you into a motel or hostel. Be as rude as you can to the people in that trail town, so that when other hikers come, then they'll get the idea that everybody is hiking the PCT or the AT or the CDT or whatever are rude like you. If you don't want to be a rude hiker, then be as nice as you can to those people. Their livelihood depends upon hikers when they come in for the season. I was thinking about this. If you want to be a rude hiker, insist that other hikers hike your hike. Insist that they hike the same way you do, the same pace that you do. I think that's where they came up with the term hike your own hike, because people were tired of hiking somebody else's hike. When you get into camp, especially if you get in there late, be inconsiderate of other hikers that are sleeping, and just make as much noise as you can, and either that or get up real early and make as much noise as you can so you can wake up your fellow hikers. Now, this last one I consider to be the height of rudeness. Now, if you want to be really, really rude, be inconsiderate to trail angels. I mean, don't thank them. Just eat like a pig. If they give you a ride, don't offer them any money. Don't talk to them. Act like you're better than they are. Just be as rude as you can to trail angels. If they had public flogging, you'd definitely be a candidate to get publicly flogged in the town square. Trail angels, they give their time and their effort. Most of them are ex-hikers. They've done the trails that you're doing now, and just out of the kindness of their heart, the generosity of their heart, they are providing a service for you to encourage you to keep on going and to finish the trail like they did. And to be rude to them and be inconsiderate and not kind to them, again, that is a height of rudeness. Different through hikes that I've done, and section hikes and day hikes, I've met a lot of rude people, but I am not going to be that rude hiker. I'm not perfect. I've got a lot of things I need to learn, but one of them is not how to be rude. Now, there's some hikers that are rude and they don't really care. And then there's other hikers that are rude, but they don't know any better. They're unlearned. If you're one of the latter hikers, then hopefully you can learn something from this kind of tongue-in-cheek video, and hopefully you can not make the same mistakes that other rude hikers have made. Make sure that you like, comment, like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. into this video. If you'd like to learn some more about what I've learned about hiking, and day hiking, and section hiking, backpacking, then check out the videos that are on the screen now. But until then, I will see you down the trail. Hey, get out of my way, you peasant.
How rude.